Hey, it's Jack Darby, and when I'm not getting shot at by Decepticons because of Miko, or taking rides with RC, I like watching video reviews from Baltmatrix.
Hey gang, today we are taking a look at Transformers Prime Deluxe Class Beast Hunters Dreadwing. Now this figure was highly anticipated when I first saw him at Toy Fair, but I've got some problems with this guy that I'm a little bit surprised at. Now we'll get into that here in a second. This figure is packaged in robot mode and he comes as is, though he is slightly mistransformed, specifically in the arms. And when you see the transformation, you'll kind of understand why. Overall, I think his robot mode looks nice. I think it looks pretty good. However, it is horrifically top-heavy, and the ball joints that make up his feet and his hips aren't really strong enough to really hold him together. That can be fixed, however, with the copious amounts of coating of nail polish remover, or nail polish, I can't remember. So, all you have to do is just kind of hold him and just tap him backwards, and see, he falls over just like that. Like I said, the ball joints here in the hip and in the foot just aren't tight enough. And I think the looseness in the ball joint on the foot comes from the fact that the plastic here on this yellow bit feels significantly different from the rest of the plastic on the figure. And that might be because it doesn't appear to have a clear coat on it. And maybe just blasting this or dunking this whole piece into some clear coat would help it. Now, the ball joints in the hips, however, I have no idea why they are so loose. I mean, I'm using very little force here. So, I'm going to have to do some tweaking of the figure. Posability-wise, he's actually pretty good. Head, unfortunately, really doesn't move all that much. It is on a swivel. Shoulders are on a ball joint, and then there is a swivel underneath that, and then a ratchet plastic joint for an elbow. No movement in the hands, unfortunately. No torso articulation. You've seen the articulation here in the hip. Knees bend almost 90 degrees, and there is a swivel just above that, and then obviously the foot articulation. This figure would be able to pull off some absolutely awesome poses if not for the stability issues in these two sets of ball joints. Now, that being said, I still think the robot mode looks pretty cool. It is a little bit weird that it looks like a robot version of Buzz-Off from He-Man. I don't know why they went with that aesthetic, but it works well enough. The only issue I have with the choosing of the color scheme is the purple, or lavender. This lavender color I really don't think works with the rest of the figure, but it's only in a few spots. The plastic here for the arms and elbows, this piece of plastic here that attaches the nose cone to the rest of the body, and this little bit of lavender here in the tummy, and a little lavender here, or dark purple I should say, here on the shin. Now, I would be fine if this dark purple was the same as the lavender here in the elbow plastic, but it isn't. This is much darker than this. I would have preferred darker, but overall it works okay. I'm just not keen on the lavender with the other colors. Head sculpt is very good, actually. Head sculpt is fantastic. I could not get over how well the head sculpt is, and the paint on the head sculpt is really well done. It's got a very weathered look to it. And I think this is the first time I've ever seen such a nicely painted head. It's too bad that the figure's actually dead in the show, so far. I really kind of wish he got this upgrade, because man, that is a really nicely painted head, and it does have kicking light piping. The light piping is this crimson red that comes out of his eyes, and when you get the effect to work, it looks awesome. Now, Dreadwing comes with a couple of weapon bits. First off, he comes with this cannon with a chainsaw on the bottom. Most impractical chainsaw ever, but it works okay, and he can hold it just fine. Has a missile that pegs into the front here and fires a good bit, but he comes with 2 missiles. Now, originally in robot mode, I wasn't able to figure out where that second missile goes, but you can kind of just put it and plug it into the back of the weapon like that, and that works okay. Also, he comes with this really cool double-bladed chainsaw axe. I love this thing. Wish it had more paint. I'm going to personally paint this and just take silver to the chainsaw bits and then maybe some silver here on the shaft. But overall, I really like the look of this. And it can combine with the blaster, so it just slides into that rear hole in the gun, and then you've got a double chainsaw bayonet weapon sword thing. It's cool. I like it. I like the fact that he comes with this crazy weapon. It's just bonkers, but I think it's very cool. And it looks good when he's holding it, so that is definitely a plus. Now, this secondary missile that I was talking about, in robot mode, I haven't really been able to find a place for it other than maybe to peg it in under the wing up here, but that just looks silly. I did, however, find a peg hole right in between his legs. So yeah, as he's flying over the battlefield, he can poop missiles. Buzz, 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 poop, buzz, buzz, buzz. Yeah, I have no idea why that peg hole is there. I really don't. I mean, it also can kind of fit the axe as well. So, I don't know. Now, if you do have, say, a Tamiya web stand, this is the perfect size for one of the main stands. So you could just peg it in, and he can float about in robot mode. So that'll work as well. For size comparison, here Dreadwing is with his fellow flyer Starscream, and as you can see, they are two very different figures. Starscream is a cowardly little 85-pound weakling, while Dreadwing is a big, beefy sumo bot of a plane. Either way, I think they both look really good in robot mode. Dreadwing's transformation is actually really cool, but I'm shocked at how similar it is to his Cyberverse Commander class figure. It's practically the same transformation almost. To start off with, we're going to go ahead and fold up the wings. Now the wings actually will fold back, and then you just lift them up, each individual wing bit up a little bit, and peg it into the piece before it. So it makes one cohesive wing. So just do that, and there we go. Oh, and the wings do fold back a little bit. Now, you're supposed to pull out the nose cone, but I found that it is a little bit tough to pull it out sometimes once it's really pegged in there. Now, right there, it wasn't really pegged in. But another thing you could do is come along to the back here and push this purple piece down, making sure your other finger is out of the way. That will pop the nose cone out of the chest and just fold it up to make the front of the plane. For the arms, we'll put the arms off to the side for right now and worry about them in a bit. But for the center torso, we're actually going to pull that away from the figure and take it and flip it around so that the legs are pointing up towards the nose cone. Straighten the legs out and fold them back along the body and then peg them into these pegs right in the back. But before doing that, be sure to fold the feet all the way flat against the rear of the leg. And then just work it and peg it in. So do the same thing on this side, fold the foot up, kind of situate that, peg it in, and then fold that entire leg section up underneath the plane, or the plane mode to form the fuselage. Now, for the arms, this is where the directions act a little weird. The arms aren't the weird part. It's these shoulder bits that are the weird part. I'll show you that here in a second. The arms, we're going to fold them in towards the body and then collapse them up into the elbow and upper arm. Though it is a little bit tight, that connector piece, so just fold that up into the arm. So fold it into the body and then fold it back up against the arm like that, and then they will peg into the middle, to the second yellow wing underneath of the main wings, like that. Now, the directions show you folding the shoulder bits up against the body like that. I think that looks really dumb. I do not like that. Thankfully, on the back of the box, they show the correct, or what I'm assuming is the correct transformation, where you take these shoulder bits and they will fold up underneath and behind the nose cone to form air intakes. And there we have the vehicle mode, jet mode, for Dreadwing. And I actually think this looks pretty cool. Though it looks kind of like a flying chicken, or another bird of prey of some sort. Just very weird. I don't know why I think it looks like a chicken. It's probably because of the yellow feet. I'm not saying it looks bad. I actually think it looks good. Yeah, there's a bit of robot kibble underneath, the feet are sticking out. But I like the jet mode. I think this jet mode works better than the Voyager class figure, which, unfortunately, I no longer own because the dang thing fell apart on me. It snapped in half. I mean, it just literally snapped in half. So, overall, I like the vehicle mode. Now, you can attach the weapons to him in vehicle mode. First way is you can just put the gun right here on the top of the jet. Or you can take both missiles, and there are little tabs right here at the tip of the missile that will peg into the missile and hold them into place. So you can peg the missiles underneath the wings. And that's why I think there are two. Like I said, in vehicle mode, you can have missiles on the wings. For some reason, this one isn't holding. There we go. Now, the back of the box actually the back of the box actually shows. Remember that hole I talked about earlier? That one? Well, like I said, you could plug the axe into it, and then you could plug the weapon or the gun into the peg hole on the axe. And so you have it underneath the vehicle in vehicle mode as opposed to the top. And let me pull that axe out because this peg is a little tight. There we go. So, yeah, so you can do this in vehicle mode. So that kind of works. Kind of unwieldy, doesn't really hold together well. As you see, it's sticking out from the figure there. It works, sort of. And the other way is to peg the axe in to the back and just have it sticking off the back of the gun in vehicle mode like this. And that's the other way you can hold it. Either way, I normally display the vehicle mode without the giant yellow gun, cannon, and axe. Just put that off to the side. I think that looks really, really good. Overall, I like Dreadwing. I think this is a pretty cool figure. It does have some issues. Chiefly the issues with the ball joints in robot mode. I think that is a major, major issue. But it is fixable. There are a myriad of different ways to fix that issue. So if you guys see this one, I would pick him up. Now he comes in a deluxe wave with Autobot Ratchet, or as the fandom is calling him, Dinobot Ratchet. And then he also comes with Skystalker. I would pick up Skystalker first, then this guy, then Ratchet. Now, if you've got to have all three of them, of course, get all three. But if you've got to choose, I would choose Skystalker over this guy, then this one, then Ratchet. Now, again, I like the look of this figure, but I can't wait to see what some customizers do when they get a hold of him. I would love to see a different paint scheme on this guy. Maybe a green Skyquake, or, heck, a Thrust, or a Dirge, or heck, even a Ramjet. I think this mode would work really well for either one of those three flyers. So guys, I've been Baltmatrix for my review of Dreadwing Deluxe Class from Beast Hunters. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.